guys, today I'm doing a book video about the books I read in May. So I read 4 books. I'm almost about to finish my 5th. So we'll just go ahead and round up and say I read 5 books in May, which is pretty good. I am 32 of 52 books done for the year, which is pretty freaking impressive. So I'm going to recap what I read in May. Honestly, I didn't read very many good books in May. There were some that stood out, but there were some that were, oh, I hate that noise. Oh, I hate that. Okay, moving on. So the first book that I finished in May came from a blogger recommendation, Carly the Prepster, and I really normally like her book suggestions and her lifestyle suggestions, and I really trust her opinion, but this book fell short for me. So it was called The Idea of You by Robin Lee. It is essentially, it isn't even essentially, it just is One Direction fan fiction, which is, books could be worse, right? It could be worse than reading about Harry Styles falling in love, but this book just took me forever to get through. It was super rated R, and there was not a lot of plot. It was just a romance, and I guess it's fine, but I thought it was gonna be way more romantic than this. I just didn't love it. So it is One Direction fan fiction about this teenage girl who goes to a meet and greet for this band that is very thinly disguised as One Direction. And she brings her mom along. Her mom is like 40, and her mom ends up falling for the Harry Styles of this fake One Direction. He has like the long hair, and he's the main guy in the group, and he was a very lovable character, but it just follows their relationship and over time, and the struggles of being so far apart age-wise, and also just in different spots in their life. And like I said, it was just super rated R, unnecessarily at times. I would have loved to read this book in One Direction fan fiction maybe 10 years ago, but right now I'm just not in that spot. And if you are, then go for it. You will love this book, but I was not. Next up, I finished Bringing Up Baby. One American Mother Discovers the Wisdom of French Parenting by Pamela Druckerman. And this book it was kind of a parenting book, but it was also very narrative of her life raising a child in France as an American. It was very good. I learned a lot of things from it. It did kind of drag on at times. I didn't really care about her personal life that much, but it was a very interesting contrast between American parenting and French parenting. And if you are expecting or you have little children, it's very fascinating. So I do recommend it. Third for this month, I read The Ramblers by Aidan Donnelly Rowley. What a name. This book also, I'm surprised I finished it. It just wasn't anything special. I thought it was going to be a super fun book about a group of 20-year-olds finding themselves in New York City and what that looks like for each of their individual lives, but it really wasn't that. It followed about 3 characters, each boring in their own respect. One of them was an ophthalmologist, which means she is basically a professional bird watcher. No offense to the bird watchers out there, but hopefully I don't have too big of a demographic that is exclusively bird watchers. I'd be very surprised. But it just wasn't interesting. Nothing about the book really captured my attention. I did end up finishing it and it wasn't terrible, but I'd say giving it 3 out of 5 stars might be a little bit of a stretch. So, second to last was one of the only books I read this month that I actually liked, and I actually loved this book, which was a big surprise to me. It's called In 5 Years by Rebecca Surley. So she wrote The Dinner List, which I did not like at all. I just found it hard to get through that book. I thought the ending was super, super sad, and I just didn't enjoy it. But this book is really good. So it's kind of similar to Dinner List in that there is an element of, I wouldn't call it magical realism, but there is an element that is just not normal in everyday life. So basically in this book, the main character has a very plotted out life. She knows exactly when she's gonna get engaged, exactly when she's gonna get married. She has everything planned to a T. And then on the night that she gets engaged, she has this dream, and she sees herself in the future with a guy who is not her fiance, and they're in love. And it's 5 years later to the day. And this really freaks her out, but she doesn't do anything about it. She just wakes up. The book takes you through the next 5 years of her life in like a span of 2 pages. So then you're fast forwarded to that timeline about several months before this premonition happens. And I don't know how to describe it, but basically it's just not what you expect at all. It's very relational, and it's more so, I will say this, it's more so about her relationship with her best friend than with the romantic partners in her life. And you know how in the classic cinematic film Aquamarine, the whole movie is not about a relationship between romantic partners, it's about relationship between friends, and how that kind of relationship fosters love that is special and unique and different from romantic love. And that's what this book is. It follows friendship and love like the mermaids in Aquamarine. So if you followed that, you probably couldn't, but it's fine. It was a very good book. Super, super sad, but not unnecessarily sad like I thought The Dinner List was. This one is just very poignant. And last but not least, I am currently reading The Wives by Taryn Fisher, and I think I'll probably finish it today, so it wouldn't be a month of reading for me without a thriller. I'm actually surprised this is the only thriller I've read this month. But this book is really good so far. I'm not sure what the ending is going to look like. The ending of a thriller can either destroy it or redeem it. So we'll see. But so far I'm really liking this book. I only have about 20% left to go. But it basically follows this woman named Thursday, whose husband is a polygamist. And so the book, there's a lot of suspicious circumstances around his relationships with his other wives. And I can't really say anything without giving it away, because honestly I'm almost done with it and it's just now picking up, but it's still been entertaining the whole time. The plot is just now picking up and we're about to see what happens. I have a lot of theories. I'm sure none of them are right, but it will be very interesting to see if I like it. So far I am though, so I would really recommend that as a thriller. Funny man inhaler. Okay, so that's what I read in the month of May. I think I had about 3 books that really fell short for me or just weren't, I wouldn't highly recommend them. And then I have about 2 that I really did enjoy, really would recommend, especially in 5 years. Check that one out. It's a really good, entertaining read. Thanks for watching.